The Great Escape is one of the most famous war films ever made, a classic that has stood the test of time since its release in 1963. Directed by John Sturges and starring a large international cast led by Steve McQueen, James Garner, Richard Attenborough, and Charles Bronson, the film is based on a true story from World War II. It tells the story of Allied prisoners of war held in a German camp who worked together on a massive escape plan. The film mixes adventure, suspense, humor, and tragedy, creating something much more than a simple war movie. It is both entertaining and emotional, a film that celebrates human resilience while also showing the cost of war. At its core, The Great Escape is a story of teamwork and determination. The plot begins when a large group of Allied prisoners is moved into a high-security German camp that is supposed to be escape-proof. The Germans have gathered together prisoners who have already tried to escape from other camps, thinking that by putting them all in one place they can finally contain them. What the Germans fail to realize is that by placing all of these escape experts together, they are essentially creating the ultimate escape team. The prisoners immediately start planning one of the most ambitious breakouts of the war, a massive operation involving tunnels, disguises, forged documents, and careful coordination. The film does a remarkable job of balancing the large cast of characters. Each prisoner brings a different skill or personality to the plan. Richard Attenborough plays Bartlett, known as Big X, the leader of the escape committee. He is determined and methodical, willing to take risks for the chance to get as many men out as possible. Steve McQueen plays Hiltz, an American pilot whose rebellious and independent streak makes him both a troublemaker and a hero. James Garner plays Henley, a smooth-talking American who uses charm and clever thinking to get supplies. Charles Bronson plays Danny, the Tunnel King, who digs tirelessly but struggles with claustrophobia. Donald Pleasance plays Blythe, the mild-mannered forger who faces the heartbreaking challenge of losing his eyesight. Each character is drawn with enough detail that the audience cares about them, making the outcome of the escape deeply emotional. One of the greatest strengths of The Great Escape is how it builds suspense. From the very beginning, the film establishes that the prisoners will never stop trying to escape. The audience knows they are digging tunnels and forging documents, but the tension comes from whether the Germans will discover them. The process of digging the tunnels is shown in great detail. We see how the prisoners hide the dirt in their clothes, how they construct supports to keep the tunnels from collapsing, and how they carefully measure everything to avoid detection. These scenes are not just technical but also exciting, as the prisoners must constantly outwit the guards. The sense of danger is always present, yet the film also finds humor in the clever tricks the prisoners use to get away with things. This balance of tension and lightheartedness makes the film highly engaging. Steve McQueen's role deserves special attention. His character Hiltz is one of the most memorable parts of the movie. He is often called the Cooler King because he is constantly thrown into solitary confinement for misbehavior, usually after failed escape attempts. What makes Hiltz stand out is his spirit. He refuses to give in to the Germans and maintains his confidence even in the face of punishment. The image of Hiltz bouncing a baseball against the wall in solitary confinement has become one of the most iconic moments in film history. Later in the film, Hiltz plays a crucial role in the escape attempt, showing both his daring and his loyalty to his fellow prisoners. McQueen's cool charisma gives the film a modern edge, and his famous motorcycle chase near the end of the movie remains one of the greatest action sequences ever filmed. The Great Escape also stands out for its pacing and structure. The film is nearly 3 hours long, but it rarely feels slow because of how it balances its different elements. The first part of the film is almost playful, as the prisoners begin to plan and prepare for the escape. The middle section is full of suspense, as the tunnels near completion and the risk of discovery grows. The final act shifts to high-intensity action and tragedy as the escape attempt takes place and the consequences unfold. This careful pacing allows the audience to become invested in the characters and the operation before the story turns darker. By the end, the film has taken the viewer on a full emotional journey, from laughter to excitement to heartbreak. While the film is highly entertaining, it also has a serious side. The Great Escape is based on real events, though it takes creative liberties for dramatic effect. In reality, The escape from Stalag Luft 3 in 1944 involved the digging of multiple tunnels, and around 76 men made it out before being discovered. The Germans captured most of them, and tragically, 50 were executed. The film captures this historical truth in its final act, when the hopeful energy of the escape is crushed by the brutal reality of war. This ending reminds the audience that while courage and ingenuity are inspiring, the war itself was filled with loss and cruelty. The Great Escape honors the bravery of those who attempted to break free while also respecting the seriousness of their sacrifice. Another important aspect of the film is its international cast and perspective. The prisoners come from different Allied nations, including Britain, America, and others, and the film highlights how they must work together despite their differences. This unity is a powerful theme, showing how cooperation across cultures and personalities can achieve something extraordinary. The film was also produced in a way that appealed to a wide audience, particularly in the United States, by giving strong roles to American actors like Steve McQueen and James Garner, even though the real escape was largely organized by British officers. While some critics have pointed out this historical inaccuracy, it helped the film reach a global audience and ensured its enduring popularity. The production values of The Great Escape are also worth noting. The sets for the prison camp were carefully constructed to resemble the real camp, giving the film an authentic feel. The tunnel sequences are especially well done, with cramped spaces and dim lighting that put the viewer right alongside the prisoners. The cinematography captures both the confinement of the camp and the freedom of the outside world, particularly in the motorcycle chase scenes that contrast wide open landscapes with the claustrophobic camp. Elmer Bernstein's musical score is another highlight, with a rousing main theme that perfectly captures the spirit of adventure while also carrying a touch of melancholy. The music has become iconic, instantly recognizable even to people who have never seen the film. What makes The Great Escape so enduring is its combination of entertainment and meaning. On one hand, it is a thrilling adventure with humor, action, and memorable characters. On the other hand, it is a story of real courage and sacrifice. The film does not shy away from the fact that many of the men did not make it home. The ending is bittersweet, leaving the audience with admiration for the prisoners' bravery but also sadness for their fate. This emotional complexity is what elevates the film from being just a war movie to being a timeless classic. Over 60 years after its release, The Great Escape remains one of the most beloved films of its era. It is regularly ranked among the greatest war movies ever made and continues to inspire new generations of viewers. Its influence can be seen in later films and shows that feature escape plots, teamwork under pressure, or the spirit of resistance against impossible odds. Steve McQueen's performance, in particular, helped cement his status as a Hollywood icon and contributed to the film's lasting reputation. In summary, The Great Escape is more than just a film about prisoners trying to get out of a camp. It is a story about hope, determination, and the will to resist. It captures the ingenuity of the human spirit, while also showing the heavy cost of war. The film is exciting and suspenseful, but also moving and tragic. Its characters are memorable, its action sequences legendary, and its message timeless. Watching The Great Escape is not just watching a piece of history come to life but also experiencing a story that continues to resonate because it speaks to universal themes of freedom and courage.